Hello, guys and gals, me Mudahar, and yes, ladies and gentlemen, the title is correct. The most mysterious song on the internet, a 40-year long search, has actually concluded with a song being found. Now, I want to be real with you, this year has been wild for lost media stuff, okay? We got to find out where the backrooms are actually from. Okay, we found the most obscure images. Downright to the point, ladies and gentlemen, we have actually come across an elusive song as well. Not even this song that was found in the most adult of materials. All that's pretty much remaining today, ladies and gentlemen, is to find the original Jeff the Killer image, which I still have a $10,000 standing bounty of. Now, of course, those guys are doing fine work over there trying to dig up all the trudges of 2chan and every Japanese-centric forum from the earliest era of the web just to find this image. So while those people are cooking, and I hope to God, maybe hopefully, before the end of the year, I have to actually, send some money over because this will also be found. Let's get back to the meat of this video. So, ladies and gentlemen, to give you an idea, this one massive post came out literally a day ago. TMS is found. The song is called Subways of Your Mind by FEX. Now, since my interest in a lot of these lost media searches, this has been one of the longest searches out there, okay? Now, this is known as The Mysterious Song, and one of the most popular investigation Reddits for it was r/The Mysterious Song, which is basically a Reddit dedicated to discussing the most mysterious song on the internet, which has been sought since 2007. But to this day, it remains unidentified. Well, it's identified now. So to give an idea about this, ladies and gentlemen, one thing you have to understand is an entire genre of music known as Lost Wave, which is a term for music that has actually little or no information about the actual origin. So these are just songs that exist out in the world, which don't have song titles, attributations to musicians or artists, and even actual dates for recordings and even releases. So it really involves a lot of people really listening to music and trying to identify if something is real. And of course, there are several unsolved cases, like Somewhere in the Night, Your Eyes, CIA, Light the Lanterns. And of course, the possible years they may have been recorded are all the way from like the 1980s to 2003. And at some point, it gets really obscure because some people don't even know when music is recorded. Now, Subways of Your Mind by the band FEX is actually the most mysterious song on the internet, unmasked. And right underneath it, you can see Ulterior Motives, the song found in literal pornography. So to give an idea about the mysterious song on the internet, at the time of investigation, before literally yesterday, there were a few leads that people were looking down. So for instance, the leads that were considered viable were, Between the Lines, DEO, EA80, Westdeuce Christian, Peter Mywald, and of course there were several dead leads. So one of the earliest points of investigations, and when it really began on the internet, was all the way back in 2007. In fact, specifically March 18th of 2007, by a user known as Blue. So this little thread, which at the time, thankfully to the Wayback Machine, this was dug from July 6, 2019. And at this point, only 3,550 views existed on this actual thread. So this is a machine translation. This was originally written in German, so excuse the shoddy English translation. Hello, dear people. I was intoxicated by DRMR and hope that I can be helped here among like-minded people. The following title is involved, to which they link to a website known as speedyshare.com. Unfortunately, it's only about 1 minute long. I don't have more of the song. You hear style yourself, a little dark, melodic, full of melancholy. At some point I recorded 82 to 84. So that was the actual year that was being referenced in 1982 to 1984, probably on the radio station NDR2. I tried to fuck what I understand by text, but so far unsuccessful. Maybe it was just a B-side that never really made it to the public eye. Any ideas? LG Anton. Now, I always a firm believer if you wanted to identify a song, the best thing you can do is slap it right up to YouTube and pray to God that it exists in the Content ID system. That way you can figure out exactly who's actually jumping down your throat with their actual song name and the artist. But obviously in this case, no such luck, because the song was so old and things were so detached that there really wasn't anybody claiming ownership. So going on to another website where it was also posted by Blue, you could hear this 1 minute and 14 second clip. So let's listen to it real quick on the spiritofradio.ca. Yeah, it's a pretty interesting sounding song. I don't really know when people get into the whole like dark. It definitely sounds upbeat and cheery to me. But everyone has their own way of perceiving, music, I guess you could say. Now, if you look at the bottom over here, one thing interesting, it has been identified, and thankfully that shows that this website is still pretty active. And the more you go down into it, you can see that this has been a serious topic of discussion, all the way back from when it was posted in 2007 to literally being discussed in the year 2024. So as it's been identified now, the entire investigation has pretty much died over here. Now, obviously, in the period of 1982, when the song was initially recorded from the radio, it seemed, between 1982 and 1984, literally nothing happened until that actual post that I showed you by Blue. So around the time this was actually posted, there was actually a massive post onto YouTube that actually archived this song as well. Now, 5 years ago, interestingly enough, with 8.2 million views, came by user Systemica a 2-minute and 56-second upload of the most mysterious song on the internet, a full entire version. So instead of dealing with 1 minute, you actually had, again, 3 minutes to work with. The whole song was effectively posted for everyone to hear. Now, at this moment in time, friend of the channel, Justin Wang, uploaded a video that got pretty viral and covered this entire search as well. So yeah, more eyes were drawn in, and basically it became an entire story where from 2007, people were spending all this time trying to find this track. Now, again, like the Jeff the Killer search, finding anything on the internet that, again, has existed, especially something as old as a song from 1982, can be quite difficult. It may not be hard if you're finding something from like 3, 4, 5 years ago. I guess the best example may be the Backrooms, because the websites were so recently uploaded, recent in a relative term, that people were able to look through shards of the Wayback Machine and get really lucky with old 4chan posts that were actually archived. But when something exists from 1982 to 1984 and it was recorded in such a manner, it honestly is a situation where, again, not only do you have to get really lucky, but you have to hope that whatever is remaining is, at least ample enough to help identify in the modern era, right? Like, at least this song existed in a manner where it was sounding good enough to help people with identification. So 5 years ago, this post on r/the mysterious song kind of detailed this as well too, where in like the 1980s, a German radio station broadcasts a song, and one listener named Anton Riedel records a song in its entirety in mono format. So at this moment in time, Anton begins a search for the identity of the song, all the way back from the 1980s. So fast forward to 2000, in 2006, a sound engineer named Gabriel Vieira claims to have started the search of the song around this time. So Anton Riedel, who actually goes to search the internet under the username Bluey, he would actually be the first to post this investigation on the Usenet forums. So the Usenet user, known as Andreas Eibach, recommends Anton to continue a search on the website known as bestofeighties.de. So during the search, there were a whole bunch of other actual Reddits that were involved into it. You got Reddits like r/80s, Ask UK, r/goth, music, mysteries, name that song, so on and so forth. It literally just became this one thing where people were, again, trying to get everyone riled up and involved in searching for the most mysterious song on the internet. So as the Reddit community started to search for the song, one massive discovery that kind of came into note was the 10 kilohertz line discovery. So the reason why the 10 kilohertz line was important was that it basically is effectively a line that was spotted via spectrogram analysis. Now, if you know anything about spectrograms, I actually briefly talked about it on my channel in the context of hidden messages. So back in the day on deep web browsing, there was this one Plague Doctor video which had like a weird audio effect into it. If you put that track into a spectrogram, you could actually find hidden photographs within the spectrogram analysis. And I also showed how to input your own secret, spooky, hidden images and messages via spectrograms. But this is not as spooky. What this did was actually allow people to isolate which radio station actually was broadcasting this song, which made the whole search a lot easier, okay? Because you could narrow down and pinpoint exactly where this may have actually been sent. So this is back in December 22nd, 2020. So 4 years ago, this was discussed in this one post by Bluey Lee on the r/mysterious song Reddit, where they said, in my last update, I announced that we would soon receive the protocols of the NDR program Music for Junge Lutte for the year 1984. Well, it happened sooner than expected, and we were already able to check them last week. We found tons of amazing songs, and all this meant another journey in time for me and my brother. What we didn't find was the song. This was for me personally disappointing beyond words. But we always knew this could happen since my brother had stated he had probably recorded the song from MFJL. We found some songs that were listed as demos, but due to the band's musical styles and languages, we could rule them out. So for now we have to state, TMS was most probably not played on MFJL. There isn't more than a high probability because of the two facts. A song could have been played in MFJL in the last 2 weeks of 1983, a time period in which no protocols exist. The song could also have been played as a demo and was not put into the protocols because the DJ thought as a demo it's not relevant to the GEMA. So what they said was user, Fleer, discovered a overlooked audio artifact on several of the recordings, including the most mysterious song. A clear and consistent line at 10 kHz in the spectrum display of his audio program indicated a notable buzz at this frequency on several of the songs. Users compared these songs with the schedule of suspected broadcast times from the playlist, and found that the songs played on NDR all displayed this same audio artifact. A portion of the tape, known to have been recorded from the Dutch Hilversum 3 station, did not contain the spike. Research and radio forums confirmed that the 10 kHz buzz was a known attribute of the NDR2 broadcast, and essentially an audio fingerprint on anything played by the station. Taking things a step further, the precise frequency of the spike would gradually drift over time. Analysis of its exact position during a recording can indicate the time at which the audio was captured. So kind of like a little built-in sort of like watermark that allowed people to effectively isolate where things were broadcast and possibly what time as well, which is very important when you're searching for a song that is mired in so much mystery. So then the search got even better when a new tape was effectively discovered by a now deleted Reddit account 3 years ago. A higher quality version of the song thanks to Lydia's reviews of the tapes. An earlier generation of the song had been found. So it ended up being a 42-minute mixtape at this moment, which contained the high quality version of the song, which again is something you needed. We were previously working with a off-the-shelf recording, like a scuffed recording, and now we're dealing with something that is about as crystal clear as you can imagine. But still, who made it? So that brings us to sort of the final tail end of this video with the actual song being found as Subways of Your Mind by the band FEX. So here's the actual story. 2 weeks ago, someone came across an old newspaper article in Nordwest Zeitung Archive while researching Horfest bands. The article was about a band called FEX from Kiel, who won a talent contest in Bremen in September 1984, and their music was described as rock with wave and pop influences. It also mentioned their members, and one of them I recognized from a Horfest 83 band called Pret. I managed to get in touch with him and asked if he had still had some old material from the bands. He then sent me some of the songs he made with FEX and Pret, and lo and behold, one of them was titled Subways of Your Mind, and it's a slightly different version from the one we know. So then they provided a Vocaroo link. And again, when you kind of listen to the original one, yeah, it's pretty close. It's a pretty good find. So when they emailed him back that the song is actually quite a famous lost song, he asked me not to go public with it until he spoke with his old bandmates. In the meantime, though, the song did get registered at GEMA and people found out about it. But I'm happy to say that the band members agreed for me to go public with it. So here it is. I'm sure there will be a lot of questions, and I hope the band can answer these themselves in the future. But that's effectively how it ended. And when you want to look at the tape right over here, it is from the band FEX, cool logo by the way, Subways of Your Mind. So yeah, it actually ended up being found. And apparently it seems like the band ended up going to come back together and maybe apparently make a recording based on actual OP. Got word that they're planning a reunion to re-record the track. To give more information from Lord Ellen, one of the moderators, yes, Darius and Lydia have been informed. I'm sure they will post here soon. No, the same version by Darius has not been found yet. The band will post more material this week, and hopefully something in there will materialize into exactly what people wanted. Yes, the band will provide more material as they have it this week. Yes, the NDR, their archivist, has been contacted again, and she will look into it. Thanks, Successful Bread. Yes, in the future, we will edit the description of this sub. Let's get all the information for now. Again, it's on the closing end of this investigation, but, you know, we can still kind of pop the champagne. Yes, there will be new Lost songs. Subscribe to r/LostWave. No, you don't need to suggest what's next right now. So this concludes one of the longest and most intricate searches for the most mysterious song on the internet. And look, I'm somebody that's a fan of seeing something lost eventually be found. Maybe it's like, you know, kind of like a similarity to my love for game preservation. I always like it when things are preserved, things are identified. And honestly, going through the internet spelunking to find, you know, the most obscure shard of information that can seal the deal is interesting. It's very fun. And again, like, it's kind of like, you know, the fun of looking down the back rooms or anything lost. It's like once you find that one little thing that helps tie everything together, that one little missing link, and all the dominoes start falling, nothing is more satisfying than seeing people solve that. So for the people that were investigating this for the last over 15 years, absolutely congratulations. You have found one of the most mysterious songs on the internet, effectively making this the year of found lost media. Okay, this is just one of the many dominoes that have fallen. And maybe, just maybe, before the end, we might be able to get Jeff the Killer. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, not only was the song found, it also brought together a band that made a pretty banging track, and banging enough for them to actually remake and hopefully upload in a better quality solution. Something that is a 2024 version for everyone on the internet to hear. But yeah, I wanted to share the find for one of the most elusive, one of the most mysterious songs on the internet. Now, while this one wasn't found in adult media, thankfully, it was, however, found in general. Ladies and gentlemen, this is me, Mutahar, and if you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Just like it if you dislike it. I am out.